Hi, this is Vince Roman from Burn Stainless with another episode of Vince in Shorts. Today we'd like to talk about the no-holds barred exhaust systems that we do for racing Harley-Davidson motorcycles. These systems are intended for race-only bikes, and I'm not just saying that to be in compliance with the law, but I'm saying that because these pipes will not work on a low-power motorcycle. They're not going to give you what you want. You really have to be running a full race motor that's built to really, I think, about a minimum of a 124. Where the pipes really shine is when you get to those 128, 135, and even some 143 builds. I think we even got a guy out there, a couple of guys running 150. So that's really what this pipe was designed for. Now, if you have a smaller displacement bike, like say a 114 or a 117 running high compression with some high lift cams, where these motors are going to live at high RPM on the track, the pipes can work out well again there too. Again, they're really made for top end power, not the cruiser, not the bar hopper. We do make a pretty broad number of pipes for the Milwaukee 8 bikes. So we do a touring system, and we do a long touring system, what we call a CVO style, and we do a mid-range megaphone system that is our standard megaphone setup for the M8. As far as a performance, is the mid-length is really what works out the best. The long exhaust is for guys that really maybe don't want the sound as close to them as they'd like, and we want the pipe further back, or even, even drag race guys are very conscious about the looks of their rides, and for those CVO bags where you've got holes under each of the bags, you might want to have a full-length pipe for that. But that would really be the reasons for the full-length pipe, but really for maximizing power, it's going to be that mid-length that you're going to want to run. This is a mid-length system, and this is the megaphone muffler, collector muffler that we run. It is a 2 1/4 inlet on the system with a 3-inch core muffler here. The megaphone on the outside is really, in appearance standpoint, it kind of works as a legacy, goes back to the roots that we had in the original drag racing bikes that we did. Now with the sound regulations coming into a lot of different racetracks, we're having to run mufflers. So the system comes with 2 primary pipes. This is our standard system, front pipe, curlicue rear pipe. We have a full CNC inlet stub that is welded to the 304 stainless steel. We've retained the retaining ring system for the Harley-Davidson, and the reason that we've done that is kind of a tried and true system. There's a lot of variations in a lot of motorcycles that this kind of almost a flexible arrangement works best to try to fit a variety of motorcycles. Also, when these bikes heat up and when they cool down, there's a lot of stresses that get put onto these systems. So having that compliance at the top is really, really important. And having this nice CNC piece that doesn't have the bubble forming that you have in like say a stock bike or a lot of some of the other aftermarket bikes, which makes it really a terrible situation at the port, where you're having the maximum velocity of the exhaust gases and you have a poor streamlining. You're going to get some losses there. So a very, very important aspect. Also, each of our pipes comes stock with a 18 millimeter and 12 millimeter O2 bung. These are set here for guys that are wanting to run the narrow bands on their bikes, and of course for the more serious racer that's going to be running those wide band O2s here. And in many cases we have customers that ride both, or this is a good port to have when you're going to get some tuning done. So anyway, that does come standard in all of our pipes. The pipes are step pipes, so we actually start at this first step for the Milwaukee 8 system is a 2-inch OD, going to a 2 1/8 inch step, coming finally to a 2 1/4 step, which goes into the 2 1/4 inch collector, which I just showed you. The purpose of the stepping is to broaden that power band. What happens is that we want to keep the velocity quick up at the head to try to get the exhaust gases to be flowing away from the cylinder so that we minimize any sort of reversion that we may have. But as we step through the pipe, we don't want the increased drag of that high velocity exhaust to take away power, so we've stepped it up into larger sizes in order to get that band. Each of our systems are made to a tuned length that we've actually arrived at from running analysis on a lot of different Harley-Davidson motorcycles. We've come up with a standard size that seems to work very, very well. Also, we have a spring tab, which is what we use to hold the collector to the muffler, as well as there's another bracket on our touring system that attaches to the transmission on the touring bikes. And then we also have a bracket for the soft tails, which actually connect to the stock location of the brackets. We want to keep the weight supported on these systems in order to minimize any sort of failures that we would have with that. Now, something that we've come out with more recently is that as these head porters have been working with these heads, trying to increase the flow, they've actually gone up and they've started opening up the exhaust and the intakes, of course, on these heads. And they have come to us in looking for particular system that they want a larger size. So on this system, we're limited to how big that we can go with the stock head because of the size of the counterbore that's in the head. So as they've tried to increase the flows, they wanted to open those up, and they've actually taken that counterbore away and actually have opened up the full amount. So in those cases, we've actually got a system that we use now with a welded on flange. So this welded flange has a full 1 7/8" ID, whereas in these other pipes we're limited to an 1 3/4" ID. But this is going to increase your flow rate through the exhaust systems. Now we're talking about very big bikes that are really going to be taking advantage here. So we're talking for sure 135s and above that are built pretty stoutly to take advantage of this situation. So so far with the systems that we have out there, we've got very good reports back. And again, just to summarize, we have exhausts for the M8 touring bike. We have exhaust for the M8 Softail, as well as a variation for the Lowrider S, which has been a very, very good seller because that's just really a great bike and a great platform for building a good race bike. And we also do systems for the twin cam touring bikes, and those pipes are a bit smaller. So instead of a 2 step to 2 1/8, step to 2 1/4, that pipe is going to be 1 7/8" at the head, step to 2 inch, step to 2 1/8. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an overview of the exhausts that we do for those Harley-Davidson motorcycles. And if you have any questions on anything, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section. Also, please remember to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to be informed and kept up to speed in what we are doing here at Burn Stainless. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you next time at Vincent Shorts.